Does the new Faces of Death capture that same shocking Mondo spirit of the original? Well, let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
But sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake. I got to see an early screening of the new Faces of Death movie last night, so let's get into a little spoiler-free review. If you like crazy horror movie reviews just like this one, please press all of the buttons, including the like button, the subscribe button, all of those fun little things to press, just because it's a fun time. Also, you'll see more crazy review videos just like this one. Thank you to everybody who supports the page. If you're a channel member or Patreon supporter as well, now let's get into the review.
Now it is time to witness the many faces of death.
Faces of Death 2026 follows a content moderator named Margot. She stumbles upon a series of violent videos that appear to reenact death scenes from the infamous 1978 film Faces of Death. In an online world where nothing can be trusted, she must determine whether the violence is fake or unfolding in real time. This reimagining of a classic comes from cam director Daniel Goldhaber and stars Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery. If you want another film like the 1978 original, this reimagining definitely is not that. It is still, however, a super effective meta thriller with some crazy moments throughout. I don't really know how you could make a proper sequel to the original Faces of Death anyway. It's like the Blair Witch Project in that way. People thought it was real back in the day, and now the cat's out of the bag. That's why it feels really natural to do a sequel like this, where you have a real killer trying to make the kills from the film real. IRL, baby. Now, when we start talking about movies and the word meta gets thrown out, there's one franchise that every horror fan thinks of: Scream. This movie definitely takes a little bit of inspiration from that film, I think. Margot's roommate acts as the Randy Meeks character of the film, breaking down how the original flick was basically the first viral video, before the internet existed, of course. Everyone thought it was real, and it horrified folks with what seemed like actual deaths for many generations. I think this movie pays homage to the original very nicely in those regards. Again, it's not the same approach, like this movie isn't all about the shock of seeing deaths that may or may not be real. But I do think it explains the history of this hidden gem very nicely while also kind of recreating some stuff from that original film. Oddly enough, I think that this movie speaks more to fans of like 2000s era splatter pack flicks. There is a heavy Hostel and especially Wolf Creek energy with this movie that will likely make folks in my age range jump up and down with joy. If you were scarred as a child watching the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake on television, this movie is for you. Our leads here, Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery, are phenomenal in this. I only know Barbie from her incredibly small role in Jordan Peele's Nope, and Dacre from his 2-season bully arc in Hawkins, Indiana. Margot here is an incredibly competent final girl who is consistently intelligent and making decisions that thankfully aren't frustrating. Arthur steals the show, however, with his manipulation of the people around him and some truly haunting moments throughout. There's a scene in which he has to harm himself in order to gain access to a suburban home to prey on some new victims. It's really cold and sociopathic to watch this guy slip into different personas and act like this friendly neighbor when really he's going to break into that house later that day and kidnap these people. A lemon-scented performance from Billy here. The shock of potentially seeing real death is mostly traded out for the very real horror of watching the world around you go completely insane. There's a scene towards the end of this film where Margot is watching a bunch of strangers crowd around an iPhone in order to watch snuff uploaded to the internet. The film effectively captures this feeling of isolation in a world that has gone mad with misinformation and terror at every turn thanks to our little pocket-sized devices. I think that's definitely going to turn some older fans away from this one, but it is absolutely speaking to the younger generation. After reading some of the very worst headlines in my entire life just in the last year and a half, you can see that this film is capitalizing on that fear and dread. I really liked this one. I give it a 7 out of 10, and I recommend seeing it in the theaters if you're okay for a reimagining, something that is different than the original but still finds a way to pay tribute. This is where I currently rank it out of all of the other stuff I have seen this year. Are you guys excited to see Faces of Death this weekend? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to this page. We are almost at 40,000 subs, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.